Good evening. Is it dark? Well, we have a light on. It's Friday. I couldn't believe Rob had brought me a newspaper on Wednesday, and Wednesday the day I called United Care, and they were like, I'm like, the people at the Christian medical center, whatever, over here clinic, they hadn't been able to make an appointment or wanted to make an appointment for me, and I've been going to other places, but they're acting like now. But anyway, I was all upset, so I forgot it was Wednesday. He brought me over the paper, so I didn't do the newspapers. I don't like that anyway. I decided I don't like it. Too much obligation. But today, yesterday got cold, and mostly it was windy. And today it wasn't as windy. It was more mild. I got a new neighbor that moved over here. I guess the dog catcher never did get the dog. They can only get people's pets, because like when my other dog Mia that they killed, but I noticed another thing. I was watching him and watching the dog, and he just didn't want to get out of the van. When he finally got out of the van, I guess that's when Polly made her move, and he just got back in the van. Anyway, and I guess he got mad because I called it about him leaving the can in the middle of the street over here. He just leaves it right in the middle of the street, and I don't see why. You took the can out of you. I don't understand why people litter as bad as they do here, but they do. It's very nasty. I mean, the sidewalk is all littered with glass where people are thrown like a half a quart out or whatever through their alcohol bottle out, so they don't want to get caught with an empty open container in their car, so they hurry up, and I guess they wanted to break, but they all along on the sidewalk, which I hate. So that's one of the main reasons I do walk in the street, because I've had glass go through the shoe, whatever I was wearing. So that's not a good thing. And somebody's put on some of the pathway. I think this one lady, she deter people from walking through that way. She put glass, so the kids that cut through there to go to the store or whatever, maybe they'll fall, get cut on their knees and their hands more likely. I'll go ahead and walk, through the roughage, which sometimes, they don't call it the roughage for nothing. But, that's where everybody throws their trash. But if it's not, sharp edge or anything to pierce you, it's just some plastic that we do have, recycle that. They take your recycled stuff away free, all your plastic stuff and old newspaper away free when you pay your electric bill. And the electric bill is the trash, the water, and sewer. But anyway, it even looks like it is the motherfucking city dump. And trust me, the Mississippi River over here, it don't look no better. And we have trains here, and then we have the electric company was coal, and then we have the sewer plant too. All in they made sure they killed that fucking Fuller State Park, and then I guess the nice thing to tear up the rest of the trees was the swimming pool. And then of course they told to me the swimming pool is just for a bunch of perverts and pedophiles to hang around. But if parents are not that active in their children, until they get married or go off to college or just leave or something. But I think that as long as they're in their house, that if they're going to do an activity, and they should do it on your time. You know what I'm saying? If you can't go, they could do something where they could have I don't know, friends pizza night or something, or Game of Thrones night, or game night with your friends, and play spades like we used to, or dominoes, whatever they play these days. I don't think anybody plays board games, but you got to be careful what games you have them play. Like softball used to be my favorite. Softball, tennis, handball. But kids don't play like that. They're all on the internet. But like in that way, they were five or six kids. Even if they just played, like really hard for a half an hour, then they ate, then they went to sleep. Anyway, so much for the Sabbath. I'm eating pizza actually. There's someone's phone. It's one of those store-bought pizza, but then I went ahead and put spinach, onion, mozzarella, mushroom, some of the, like the pepper, like these type of peppers, tomatoes. Anyway, I doctored it up. Oh, and then I said I put mozzarella cheese on it. I put it's not bad. That way I have everything, vegetables, the cheese there, the crust. But anyway, it's a whole meal. But it comes with pepperoni, green peppers, and onions, and so I just added onions, red onions, spinach, and then I put some seasoning on it, and I put some Italian seasoning and some garlic salt on top of the. So I put the onions, then I put the spinach, and then I put tomatoes, and on that I put the seasoning, and I put the mozzarella cheese on that. Oh, I forgot the mushrooms. I put the mushrooms on the very bottom. I put the mushrooms first, then I put the spinach, and then I put the red onions, and then I put the tomatoes. Anyway, so I just keep piling it up. But I got too lazy. I was gonna do some bacon. I was gonna give up pork, but yeah. I don't know, 'cause to me, the book 1984 was about 1950-ish. And it was like 52 to 54. And I remember as a little girl, they used to have this guy, Jack in the Lane, and he used to exercise. And in the beginning of the book, if you read the book, it talks about how they're sitting on the, like how they're sitting on the TV, they're sitting on their couch, and the TV comes on in exercise time, and they're watching them. And they used to have what they call the Nelson ratings, where, I guess they would count, how many people were watching it. Well, anyway, there were certain people you could not turn their TV off. When they woke up, they turned the TV. If you turn the TV off, they'll yell at you. I always suspected that they were part of the Nelson rating, but they were watching it, and the TV was just on. So, I don't watch TV really, but my TV's been pretty much off for about a year. But I'm gonna have to change providers. I'm just been too lazy, really. But it's not all on me, but Anyway, I guess this is the New World Order and capitalist, where people are very happy to be a slave to the Federal Reserve, which is not even part of the United States. So, there's a few people. They probably thought people would be worshipped once they have all the money. People worship idols. And really, it looks like it's the same book, but it's been divided so many different ways. And this one lady, she was telling me, well, I was studying on the Bible, and I got to a paragraph I didn't understand, and I had 20 books all around me, and I'm like, that's why I can't get into all this, propaganda type of religion. Because when you come and you meet these people as an adult and you weren't involved in religion as a child, in any form, or you know. But as a child, I had my very strong beliefs and fantasies and you know, imagination that I held very dearly, and in a sense of, you know, I can understand where, you know, if you don't have your own comprehension. But anyway, but what I was gonna say, like, if I mean, I tried to read it all the way through, pretty much did, and it's not. The book's been rewritten and played with so much that it doesn't flow very well. But because in short, it's the history of a great nation and how a very primitive ape-like white Caucasian murdering rapist with a very low IQ, instead of a moron, and in the back case of Down syndromes and sexually transmitted diseases. Because once a man has, if a man has more than one woman, he ends up getting you know, that's why a lot of times they circumcise him, so that you know, more learned people had a better understanding of what was going on. And you know, if you could smell somebody's underarmpits, you can imagine that could be considered a chemical reaction from your natural heat from your body, you know, core. So and things change with heat, you know, like when you're cooking, and things stay the same a lot longer, like if it's cold. But so there is, like, you know, things that happen, and that's a long story. But a lot of our history and our knowledge and our ability to comprehend has been lost through the idea of war. I was looking today at Vice News, and they were in a war zone, and the whole place was just totally blasted out. It was void of trees. I didn't see a freaking bird or anything. And then I want you to hear a couple of pops. And I'm thinking, you know, really, and they're talking about, like, and then they show a refugee camp. So in my mind, I'm thinking, really, you know, because they were talking about, like, the people that was there. They went in there, they just, you know, bombarded, blew it to fucking hell. You know, the buildings were just demolished. And they said they would go in there, and then if there was any civilians, they would kill them or rape them, and both, right? And rape the women right in front of the children. Yeah, just despicable, unforgivable, and very ungodly, like, in my mind, it's stuff to do. Murder, rape, you know, that. But anyway, so the place looked like shit. They thought people were running around. They got these big tanks. But see, at one time, this place was the learning places where we got all our modern day knowledge and history. And the one thing I see, the thing is that as long as women really aren't allowed to be women, as long as we're sex object, and trust and believe, being a sex object doesn't allow you the freedom to be who you are. You know, because I was seeing another thing where this guy, it is a trucker. He sounded like he had been a John, but anyway, and because he probably went in there and it was a Paul, but the girl had been, you know, held against her will and forced to have sex with other people, and so he had called the police, and which is the honorable thing to do. You know, the guy has a wife, and okay, I could believe his story that he just noticed some activity, because I could see me, like, noticing activity and, you know, thinking there was something strange too. That's great. That's probably a greater, you know, that's just as great a possibility. That's his story. that, you know, you haven't noticed, you've seen the thing rocking. And I know those things do rock. He said he saw the girl look down and she looked distressed and distraught. You know, and they do, so, you know, anyway, so he did the right thing. He called the police. The police came and they arrested this two couples, a young two couple. And, you know, people, well, and there, you know, and there was another story where this guy, I guess this lady, I guess the story captured was, don't need a man so desperate that, you know, but anyway, so the guy, I guess, she leaves the guy to babysit, so he just beats the kid to death, and then they found traces of anal rip and tear that indicate that he had been also sexually abused, and the kid was 3 years old, which I don't know who fucking mind it is that you could think that have sex with any child before they hit puberty wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Because you could just, I mean, the child's size alone. But I think men in such a way that they're programmed to think that, you know, because I see like some of the things like how the guys are acting, you know what I'm saying? It's like they don't comprehend that the female or the child, you know, I really think that if you haven't, you know, I don't know what time, you know, we got a problem in the United States. We really do. And I think a lot of it is that we are in the service industry, it is the politics, and it is the people that are up at the top that think they're fucking gods. Gods make life. God would be a female because females make life and all, everything there is about Earth, every living creature. So, anyway, so their whole thinking is that of where they, you know, think they're got to be a yin and a yang, so they have to be evil. No, because I've been told before my niceness was the worst thing that ever happened to them. So, you know what I'm saying? You can fuck up somebody a lot more by being nice to them, especially when they was brought up to think they gotta suck dick or, you know, let somebody play with their titty or have a peek at some shit. When you're just like, you know, because like a lot of shit, like really, you know, I don't want to be a hard or I just can't stand it, or I'm not the type of motherfucker that think I like to waste shit any fucking way. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't use it, don't want it, or hate it or something, you know, and it still works and it's still good, you know, it's useful, you know what I mean? Or I grew out of it. It's like when I gained 80 pounds, I had these one pair of corduroy hip huggers. They was cute. They was size like 12, whatever. But anyway, like now I'm not that. I'm, you know, back. You know, I just happen. That's why, you know, you know, like a lot of diet that the people that eat around here, I can't eat that shit. I was in New Orleans. Forget about it. Anyway, happy Sabbath, L'chaima, Shalom.